The family of a cyclist killed by a hit-and-run motorist have released the video showing his death as they appeal for help tracking down his killer. The distressing footage captures the moment the kind and generous great-granddad is hit as he cycles down a Birmingham street late at night. The force of the head-on high-speed impact sent Andell Goulbourne, 59, flying in a sickening arc. West Midlands have issued an urgent appeal to trace 4 men after the volunteer charity worker who had just recently become a great-grandfather for the first time was left to die in the street. The victim's family have given their blessing for the horrific footage to be released for the public to see following the July tragedy in Saltley. They hope it will lead to those involved finally being brought to justice. Mr Goulbourne's family are appealing to the community to give police information about who was driving the car that night. His grieving daughters and sister urged those who have information about his death to come forward, saying, "We've been given a sentence and they need to do the right thing." There is now a £5,000 reward from the charity Crimestoppers on offer for information in the case. Police have also named a man they wish to speak to in connection with the tragedy. The force issued a photo of Kashif Khan, 24, in connection with the tragedy. Information on the whereabouts of Khan will also be rewarded by Crimestoppers, police added. Mr Goulbourne was struck with force by grey BMW M135i as he cycled along Washwood Heath Rd at 11:15 p.m. on July the 30th, coming in the opposite direction as he was about to make a turn right. Police seized the car for forensic analysis and identified 4 men from CCTV footage. The force said 3 men have already been interviewed about the incident. A statement today added. Kashif Khan, however, is still at large. The victim's family described the father of 3, better known as Spring, as a kind and generous man. Mr Goulbourne's grieving daughter Nyesha Smith said, "He was a well-respected guy, a family man. He was a father, a grandfather, and recently a great-grandfather." She continued, "We just want the people where it happened who have given us the support and told us how they were there for my dad too, to just be truthful. And for the person that's knocked over my dad, for them to be honest and bring him to justice. And that's all we want, for him to come to justice and for the community to understand the pain that we are going through and to understand that it's something that shouldn't have happened and that we have to deal with it and justice needs to be served for my dad." Another daughter, Samantha Higgins, added, "I spoke to my dad about 2 days before. I rang him because it was my birthday on the Saturday. His last words were, 'Make contact with your sister and love you.' And that was literally all he said, 'Love you, Bab,' as he always does. That was our last conversation." The victim's sister, Gordon, said, "The minute I heard that it was definitely him, for myself and my family, it felt like we were given a life sentence without a trial. Unless you've been in this situation, you cannot understand how we feel." She continued, "I'm angry at the moment. I'm really angry. But he was a good person, especially in the community. And we have been overwhelmed by the good deeds that he has done in the community. For us, this was an accident that didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen." If the driver would have just concentrated on his speed, we wouldn't be here today. As the family and police released the community, she addressed the community. We can't turn back the hands of time. We have to live with this. Andell was a community man, so we're appealing to the community to do the right thing. We've been given a sentence and they need to do the right thing. In a tribute released by police shortly after his tragic death, his heartbroken family said, Andell was a kind and generous individual, a mentor to many young people. He always sought to serve those less fortunate. This was reflected in his role as a volunteer charity worker. He was a beacon of light. Our family and black community are desperately appealing to you to come forward. This was a cruel and heartless act. Close quote. Crimestoppers is offering a reward of up to £5,000 for information the charity exclusively receives either online at Crimestoppers.org or by calling 0800 555 111.